number one competition. And that competition is, anybody want to guess? Who is your number one competitor? Anybody? Anybody? It is you. Your number one competition is yourself. It is who you were yesterday and who you're going to be tomorrow. And let me give you 3 reasons why you need to be your number one competition. I know some people here, they're like, no, my competition is the other awesome people because they're going to drive me to be the best. Okay, they can help, but I still think you need to be your number one competition. So here's your 3 reasons. Number 1, when you are your own competition, you wake up every single morning with a pre-made, very specific goal. You wake up and you are like, today, you can look in the mirror and be like, hey, you are better than yesterday. That person that was here yesterday? Yeah, better than you. I got this. And then you can look in your mirror and you can say, you know what though? Tomorrow when I show up, I'm going to be better than you. And you have that and you know exactly what that is. Which leads me to reason number 2, that you need to be your own competition. And that is because you know you best. You know you best, and that is why you are your best competition. So you can, each day being better than yourself the day before, that could be pushing yourself harder in a workout than you've ever done. That could be reading a book about information you've never gotten before. That can be learning a language you didn't know before. That could be getting on Facebook Live for the first time and getting the nerves out, whatever it is, but you know you. When you try to compete with somebody and you don't know everything about them, you're not comparing apples to oranges. If you are comparing yourself to somebody who has a nutritionist who's cooking their meals and has their own gym and has a personal trainer, that's not fair for you to compete with. If you are trying to be a basketball player like Michael Jordan, that's awesome, that's a good aspiration, but you can't compete with Michael Jordan because you don't have 24/7 to spend at the gym. So trying to compete with people and you don't know their full story is not fair. Also, you can't compete with them as a full person. Like you can be like, I want to be a basketball player like him, but you don't know if you're learning a language he's never learned before. You don't know if you're not a better human being when you open the doors for people or whatever it is. So trying to compete with people that you are not, that's not you. You're not giving yourself the full picture, so you're not developing your whole self. You're just trying to focus in on this one thing. And last but not least, and my number 1 reason, I think it's really super duper ridiculously important to compete only with yourself, and that is because it focuses you to be creative more than competitive. Here's the thing, and this is kind of a law of attraction situation. You know the deal, like if you're driving down the road and something catches your eyes, like it's late and there's the cop lights, people are known to drive into the cop lights because we drive towards what we're looking at. Very dangerous. Law of attraction. We get what we're thinking about. The problem with competing with somebody else is that we're so focused on them, we're trying to be like them, and we're doing things their way, and we're staying like this with them. I mean, we're focused on them, we're right here. But when you are trying to compete with yourself, you are focused on being creative. So instead of, I'll use an example. I'm not a competitive person unless I'm winning. That's a horrible way to say it, but it's my weakness. One of the many. I wanted to raise money for human trafficking, and I'm not competitive. So it wasn't like, how has everybody else done it? And I want to do it bigger and better than them. I'm just a crackhead. And so I was like, I'm going to wear high heels and do a half marathon. There's nobody to compete with. That's just my own crazy idea. And the more you compete with yourself for success, the more you can do you. You do you, Scotty P. You focus on you and you're going to come up with your own creative ideas. Who are some great examples of this? Walt Disney. Like, who was Walt Disney competing with? Himself. And look what he did. Look what he built. Steve Jobs. Who is Steve Jobs competing with? Himself. So when you are competing, you compete with yourself. You focus on you being the crazy, ridiculous, awesome, inspirational, off-the-wall person that you are. And that's how you're going to give back what you need to give back to society. If you are trying to compete with other people and compare yourself to other people, you're going to end up trying to be like them or pushing yourself towards being like them. And that doesn't do us as the world as much good as if you would just be you, compete with you, look in the mirror today and say, you are freaking awesome, and tomorrow you're going to be even more freaking awesomerest.